June 10, 2026. The time is 7:01 p.m. Pledge of allegiance. Stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the
flag
flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Here?
Commissioner Mohammed,
Here.
Vice Mayor Kashem,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs. Yes.
Okay.
Vice Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Deletions or withdrawals to the agenda?
Hang on for a sec. There's one I just want to postpone or table. That's 13.2 in the discussion, but otherwise, nothing.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, we would also like to recommend postponing the 11.5, which has to do with the color palette. The Public Works has advised me that they would have a much better presentation in August, and there's no hurry to paint the building. It's the last thing that needs to be done of all the other projects that are going to occur with the building. So they just feel like that it'd be a much nicer and better presentation in August. But they would have a chance to have the vendor come in and do a real color palette. And then in a two-step process, if the commission were to pick, say, 3 color schemes that they like, then they could do the wonderful graphic stuff, the AI generated, show the building in each different color. That's like a top 3.
Yeah, we already choose the colors like the gray and white. We don't want the yellowish or the blue things, whatever. What do you think?
I only just saw it in the book today. Nobody ever spoke to me.
No, it is in the backup.
I know, I saw it today.
Oh, I saw it today too.
Oh, yeah. No, they're gonna postpone it.
So, okay, fine. And any other item?
Also, Vice Mayor, is the mayor on? Mayor Jacobs? Not yet.
But he's muted for some reason.
Yeah, Mayor Jacobs advised me if he wasn't on time, he's joining us, to please pull his item 13.5, discussion on attorney's fees.
Okay. Is that everything?
Okay.
Can't we get a...
Eric,
So 13.5, 11.5, and 13.2 are those the 3?
13.5.
Okay.
And if I might, Madam Vice Mayor, Commission 13.6 and 13.7 were also previously pulled.
Yeah.
And what about 11.4 and
I think 11.4 is going to stay on, Mr.
Okay.
Stevenson clarified.
Okay.
It's 11.5.
13.6?
Okay.
So I'm confused. 11.5, 13.5, and
For the record, item 11.5, 13.2, 5, 6, and 7.
13.2.
Okay. So I make a motion to adopt the agenda as amended, removing 11.5, 13.2, 13.5, 13.6, and 13.7.
I second.
1 second before we proceed, Town Manager, I believe you wanted to move up 8.1 as well, Eisner and Amper, for our finance department as well.
Well, yeah, if we're going to move it up before the presentations, it makes sense. If not, it doesn't really make any sense. It's the first substantive item we're going to deal with. So we could just take it where it is. That'll be fine.
Okay.
Bashir, you made the motion, and,
Eric, second.
all right. Commissioner Mohammed,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs, Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kashem,
Yes,
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
motion carries.
thank you. 5, presentation proclamation. 5.1, proclamation for We Are Lincoln Coalition.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. There is a proclamation recognizing Ms. Sharice Freeman and Mr. Derek Hunter. I don't know if
I
they're here.
did not let them know we were doing it today, so I'll do
Want
it
to defer the
tomorrow.
item?
I'll do it. No. I'll present it to them tomorrow during the
Oh.
work, the class.
We'll defer to Commissioner Mohammed. There is a proclamation for the record.
Okay. 5.2 proclamation for Deputy Marie Hernandez.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. And you'd asked that I'd read this item into the record. I know there's some folks here on behalf of Mr. Hernandez. This is a Town of Pembroke Park proclamation recognizing Maury Hernandez Day. For the record, whereas law enforcement officers throughout the United States place themselves in harm's way each day in order to protect the lives, safety, property of the communities they serve. Whereas on August 6, 2007, Deputy Maury Hernandez from the Broward Sheriff's Office responded to a law enforcement incident in the town of Pembroke Park, during which he was shot by a fleeing suspect, sustaining critical injuries in the line of duty. Whereas Deputy Hernandez suffered a traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzed as a result of the injury he received while protecting the town of Pembroke Park, which had a significant impact on the law enforcement community throughout Broward County. Whereas at the time of the incident, the Broward Sheriff's Office served as the contract law enforcement agency for the town of Pembroke Park, provided police services to the town's residents, businesses, and visitors. Whereas the Town Commission recognizes the bravery, professionalism, and commitment demonstrated by the members of the Broward Sheriff's Office during that difficult time, as well as the members of the town's current police department. Whereas the Town Commission further recognizes the sacrifices made not only by law enforcement officers, but also by their families, loved ones, and fellow first responders who stand beside them at times of tragedy and uncertainty. Whereas the Town of Pembroke Park is indebted to Deputy Hernandez and all the men and women of law enforcement who have served and continue to serve to protect the residents, visitors, and businesses of the town. Now, therefore, our commission, that's Mayor Jeffrey Jacobs, Vice Mayor Musfika Kashem, Clerk Commissioner William Hodgkins, Acting Clerk Commissioner Eric Morissette, and Commissioner Ashir Mohammed, by virtue of the authority vested in them by the Town of Pembroke Park, do hereby proclaim August 6th, 2026 as Maury Hernandez Day. The proclamation is affixed with their respective signatures. For your consideration, Madam Vice Mayor and Commission.
You all want us all up there?
Yes.
I keep messing with the volume, just turning it up. You know what I mean?
Actually, no, you know, it's not gonna go in because the team is picking up our voice and it's keeping up with so it's pushing us out here. Okay, let's see.
Yeah. The session tomorrow.
That's
domestic. I just,
Do you want to take it? You want to leave it with Cynthia?
I'll leave it here. No,
Oh,
no,
leave
because
it here?
they're here.
Oh, they're here? Okay.
Yeah, remember we're doing domestic violence training here,
Okay. That'll work. All right.
so just leave it.
Oui, 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 oui. Sorry.
No. I was at therapy today.
Good luck with it.
Thank you.
5.3 presentation from James Maury by Jack Charlie 4, added supporting documents.
Yeah,
Good evening. Hit the button.
Okay, there we go. It was green but not lit. So we do have a PowerPoint presentation that was added to the packet that'll cover the So, all right. While we get that up, I will just quickly highlight this being our second year working with the town. I do want to just acknowledge a couple quick thank yous and the timeline. Last year, we did issue the final audit pretty much right down at the wire, the June 30th due date, which then led us to presenting to you all, I think, at your regular August meeting last year. Just the delay from the summer break. This year is kind of the reverse. We are coming down the home stretch. I've basically just kind of, dotting a bunch of I's, crossing a bunch of T's to wrap up the audit file and issue the final reports, but we're effectively done with all the substantive audit procedures. So in discussing with your team, figured we would still go ahead and present effectively the results of the audit, knowing that the final report will be following soon. Big thanks to the team at the town. Lisette has been an absolute rock star helping us work through this process, and wrapping up about probably 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks almost, once all is said and done, and we put a bow on it. So with that, I will cover the highlights of our audit reports and hit a couple of financial items, and more than glad to answer any questions as I go or at the end, again, here at the pleasure of you all. So there are 4 reports that we issue as part of performing the audit. The first is the audit report on the financial statements themselves. That, of course, is the primary objective of this engagement. So we do expect to issue an unmodified opinion on your financial statements, that the numbers presented are fairly presented in all material respects. So effectively what that means is we've been able to obtain support for all of the applicable numbers in the financial statements. The second report is on internal control and compliance, and this is we perform the audit in accordance with government auditing standards. And while we do not issue a report on internal control, express an opinion on internal control, again, there's separate engagements for that. We do consider internal controls as it relates to financial reporting and anything else that we come across during our testing of those financial transactions. I'll hit these pretty quickly from a high level. Going back to last year's audit, we had 10 comments in last year's audit. This year, 7 of those were repeated, 3 were corrected. Of those 7, from discussing with staff, we pretty much have the expectation and understanding that substantial progress had been made from when we got into these during the fiscal year 24 audit about 12 months ago. It was so far into fiscal year 2025 that, for instance, with regard to bank reconciliations, having been a little bit behind, that was caught up during the year, but still existed for the majority of fiscal year 25, which is why we still have those comments in here. So the first 2, again, repeats of prior years related to bank reconciliation timeliness and just audit adjustments, true ups to really get things in the proper bucket from an accrual year-end cutoff perspective. The one new comment this year related to the loan situation. I know there's been a lot of discussion on there, and really our recommendation tied into what's on your agenda now in terms of having an agreement around that as part of kind of closing all of any applicable loops on that. So we did note that. The other 3 that we identified is what we call significant deficiencies, kind of the second level down. Again, these were all in the prior year audit as well, related to your expense cutoff, year-end adjustments, capital asset adjustments to true up some of those balances at the end of the year. And then the last 2 comments we had are in the third report, the Auditor General's management letter. Those were focused on your building permit fund balance, that being in excess of the state statutory limitations on where that needs to be relative to prior year budgets. And then your impact fees, recommending those are accounted for in a separate fund to comply with state statutes there. And then the last report we issue is on compliance with state statutes over investment activity, investment policies, and we did note the town to be in compliance with that statute. So to look at the numbers a little bit, what we always like to look at is your general fund balance, really your assets minus liabilities. What are your reserves in the general fund? This year, down a little bit from the prior year. You see both fiscal year 24 and 25 substantially higher than 22 and 23. That was due to corrections that we identified in last year's audit of effectively items that were not properly reported in those prior years. So that's why we see that major change and then just a much smaller decrease from fiscal year 24 to 25. What I always like to look at is what those reserves are relative to what you spent in the year to say, okay, how many months do we have in reserves as a percentage? So here, just over 50%, so about 6 months in reserves. The GFOA, the Government Finance Officers Association, recommends a bare minimum of 2 months, and then they give you a whole bunch of reasons why you might want to be higher in terms of the big one we always look at is just natural disasters, hurricanes, and otherwise being as bulletproof as possible to deal with those financial challenges and wait, in most cases, years to get those dollars back from FEMA. Your business type funds, we look at here as your unrestricted debt position, a very similar kind of bottom line reserve. What we expect in most cases is to kind of see just inflationary type increases as everything gets more expensive and grows. All of those in positive balances, moving in a slightly positive direction. So in a very strong position in those funds. Although, with regard to, say, the sewer, I always say that what's under the ground is just as important as the numbers that you're planning out, those long-term capital needs and otherwise. And then lastly, pensions, always like to touch on this one. The town, of course, has the commissioner pension plan, which is just at about 100% funded. It's gone up and over, or a little bit over 100% last year, back down under, but overall very stable. You do also present a $4.3 million liability related to the town's participation in the Florida retirement system. I always like to mention that just for the record, that it's really a theoretical presentation of that share. The ongoing obligation of the town is every month to make the required contributions based on your payroll, and that has been done consistently. So those are the highlights. Again, I'm more than glad to answer any questions, go into any more detail on anything, and we do expect that we'd be finalizing the reports probably early next week at this point.
We've had all kinds of, I would say, rumors, I guess they are, that comes in saying, the town's in terrible financial shape. Saying that the town's in terrible financial shape and all this other stuff. So as far as your audit goes, what did you find? Do you find that the town is in good shape?
Yeah, that 50% margin, 6 months in reserve, so, well over minimums. It's kind of one where what I always will say is I can say if you're too low, if you're at 5%, it's like, okay, you're scraping by, don't have much contingency. You're in that range where it really becomes, a matter of risk tolerance, but definitely a healthy level of reserves.
Yeah, I was looking it over, and I think the town is in good shape. Thank you.
Did you look into the cause of we are behind with collecting certain taxes? Do we have any explanation for that at this point?
When you say behind collecting,
well, there's some taxes that have been raised but it hasn't been paid. You haven't looked into it.
Commissioner, I think that what they looked at is looking back at what happened last year. So last year, everything was, pretty good. We'll discuss what's going on this year later in the, when actually pretty much after the consent agenda, we'll get into what our current auditors or what our current consultants working with Lisette have, what they've uncovered when we get into talking about the millage rate.
Thank you.
So for these 7 repeat findings that you have found, you said that we're in the process of clearing them up. How many did you say we had?
So there were 8 in total, 7 of which were repeats. From discussing with staff, and again, I just can't, we haven't audited it to verify, but from what I understand, the bank reconciliations have been on track, for instance, this entire fiscal year. So there will be a management's kind of response and plan and status update that goes into it more to say, hey, here's where we're at. But my expectation is that there will be further improvement on those comments next year based on, just what we've seen working through the process this year and what we've been told in terms of where things are at in the current. And when I say this year, working through the fiscal year 25 audit, based on what we saw there, plus what we've, been told on where things are at today, we definitely would expect to see further improvement in next year's audit.
Okay. Do you have recommendations for clearing up all those findings? Sorry. Do you have recommendations to clear up all those findings? I'm looking at last year's management letter, so I'm kind of hoping we'd have a copy of this year's management letter to look at to kind of go by.
Yeah, so we will, very similar to last year, have the full outline of comments with the recommendations. Then we're also just discussing throughout that process in case there's questions on, well, hey, what did you mean? How do we make sure we address this and otherwise?
Okay. Okay, so when you get a chance, Dave, can you send a copy of the management letter out for this year, since we know that we'll be getting, with the repeat findings, we will be getting a JLAC letter, and can we be proactive in addressing JLAC? Since
Yeah, absolutely.
we know that that's going to be coming down the pipe.
Yes, we discussed that today, and I believe that you said that in the next week or so, you'd have a final
Yep.
report. Would that include the management letter?
Yes.
With some recommend, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll, as soon as we get that, we'll get it to all the commissioners.
Okay, thank you. And then can we put this back on the agenda to have the discussion on what policies we're going to be implementing so that we don't have those findings?
Yeah, we can do that for August.
Okay,
Sure.
thank you.
Absolutely.
So just entertain the motion, right? No? Nothing? Okay. Any other question? No?
No, at this point.
6, public comments related to agenda item, good and
Wait.
fair.
W-
Oh,
You want a motion to approve and authorize the filing of the audit?
because we are gonna wait for the,
Well, but you're not going to be here. In other words, what I would suggest, if you'd consider, Madam Vice Mayor, Commission, would be a motion
Okay.
to approve the audit as presented with a authority to your interim town manager to work with your auditing firm to make any minor adjustments if necessary to ensure a timely submittal to the state.
okay,
I'll make
I
that
mean-
motion.
okay. I second. Oh, okay, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
The motion was made.
Motion you have made in a second, correct?
Okay.
Roll call.
Vice Mayor Kashem,
Yes,
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette.
Yes.
Is Mayor Jacobs on yet? No? Okay. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed?
Yes.
Here he is, hold on.
Motion carries.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Unmute your mic, sir.
6,
Hold on.
What?
I'm here, guys. I had some family issues, and I'm not in here in person today.
that's okay. Yeah, we are hearing you. 6, public comments related to agenda item,
I'm here.
good and welfare. Nope. Consent agenda. I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda item 7.1 to 7.11.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Roll call.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kashem?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed?
Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
You can hear me.
Motion carries.
8, resolutions. 8.1. Mr. Town Attorney, will you please read item 8.1?
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. For the record, 8.1 is the consideration and approval of a resolution adopting the proposed millage rate for fiscal year 2026-27 and setting the dates and times for the tentative public budget hearing and the final budget hearing pursuant to Florida Statute 200.065. It is suggested that the tentative budget hearing be held on September 9th, 2026 at 6 p.m. and the final budget hearing on September 23rd, 2026 at 6 p.m. in these chambers. The item will be presented by Mr. Segerson along with our finance professionals. For the record, it's Resolution 2026-053, a resolution of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, adopting the proposed operating millage rate of 8.5000 mils for the fiscal year 2026-27, commencing October 1, 2026 through September 30th, 2027. Setting a date and time for the first public hearing to consider the tentative millage rate and a tentative budget, and a date and time for the final public hearing to adopt the final millage rate and final budget, providing for direction to the town manager and providing for an effective date. For your consideration, Madam Vice Mayor and Commission. Mr. Segerson, that's probably you.
Vice Mayor, Commissioner, Mayor, and Commissioners, excuse me. In working with our consultants, we are presenting to you a hold the line millage rate of 8.5, which assumes, based upon what they have been able to dig out and understand about our our budget, which the budget, we're behind in the budget process. Let's just start with that. So they had to sort of extrapolate and estimate what the budget is going to be, what we're going to continue to spend this year, and what we would be spending next year, assuming a 1.1% just a 1.1% increase. That's what this represents. You have before you, what's handed out before the meeting, I don't know if you had a chance to read it, and I can read it if you would like, but and I'll dispense with the purpose, but the purpose is to arrive at a preliminary millage rate and rollback rate. But the summary and background is I think, something that you need to hear and consider. All the key inputs based upon the prior year estimate were available and apart from the ad valorem revenue needed to balance the general fund. As the fiscal year 27 budget is still under development, in lieu of a finalized budget to balance the general fund, as the fiscal year 27 budget is still under development, in lieu of finalized budget, general fund expenditures were based upon the fiscal year 26 adopted budget with a modest increase, 1.1%, and other resources were held flat to the prior year due to actual uncertainties and downward trends. And that's what I think Commissioner Hodgkins or Commissioner Morissette was referring to, or asking the James Moore auditor about whether we were collecting revenue at the rate that we expected to, and so far we have discovered that we are not. It's not something to be in a panic about or anything like that. We don't know the reasons why. This may be a national trend, a statewide trend. It could be due to maybe inefficiencies on our part in terms of registering the revenue. But we are going to dig into those issues. The summary goes on to say, these assumptions, together with available taxable value estimates, were used to derive the ad valorem revenue required to balance the general fund estimate and calculate the corresponding millage rate and rollback rates. Based upon this methodology and the information currently available, the recommendation of a preliminary millage rate of 8.5 for fiscal year 27 was proposed for planning purposes and discussion purposes. However, due to the limited information available, there is a risk that a higher rate may be needed to balance the general fund given more time and more information is available. So when you go to the third page of that document, you see before you, I requested a trial calculation if we thought we needed a 3% increase over their estimated budget, what that millage rate would need to be, and also a calculation as to what it would need to be if it were a 5% increase. So it's really a question of discussion for the commission, excuse me, to decide whether you want to stick with the more conservative approach, the 8.5, which assumes only a 1.1% increase in the general fund budget, or whether you want to adopt a more aggressive millage rate, which would be the top millage rate. You don't have to stick with that. You can adopt less. You just can't adopt more. We don't have the answer right now because they haven't had enough time to really get the answers that that I am looking for, that the staff is looking for, that we need to make a more educated proposal to you about what the budget would look like for next year. So I'm just putting that out there for your consideration and discussion.
If I could just reiterate one point that the interim manager made. This evening, pursuant to the statute, the commission is setting what's referred to as a proposed millage rate. This is the millage rate that'll be advertised on your trim notice. The commission will set a tentative millage rate and a final millage rate in September. The rate you set this evening is the ceiling, essentially the cap that you are not permitted to go above. You always have the option in September at your hearings of reducing that rate. I know you've been through this process several times before. I just want the record to reflect whatever you said tonight is not the millage rate. It is the proposed rate for advertising purposes. You always have the option to go below that rate once it comes time for adoption in September.
Yeah, so you could do the 8.5 and then you can lower it down to the 8.1.
That's correct. But you wouldn't be able to raise it up to 9. You'd be able to go down, not up.
Are there any significant changes in revenue or expenses? Are there any significant change, revenue and expenses?
Well, what was discovered is we didn't get into that. I would say no, except that I guess the term that is used now is burn rate, but I used to, when I was doing budgeting way back when, we called it budget rate, and that's the rate at which you're spending money. And they are projecting that we will spend more at the rate that we are spending through March 31st, that the town was spending more money than was originally budgeted from the general fund. And so that is something that we're looking into, and we don't have the April numbers or the May numbers yet, and that will have a significant influence on how they project out for the rest of the year.
What is the proposed mileage rate compared to the current year?
Well, the proposal before you has the 8.5, which is holding steady. We're just for the purposes of discussion, and you could amend the resolution before you if you wanted to, or if you felt like we need to. We aren't certain about that at this point. But as the attorney pointed out, if you raised it to say a level that would raise 3% over next year's budget, then you could always lower that if we found, why we weren't collecting the money, and we collected that money and were able to put things better in alignment to what we were anticipating when you budgeted it back in September of 2025.
Yeah, it's better to have that budget, that cushion, to fall back if we want to, or
If we can afford to fall back.
Well, it could be, yeah, it could be. But again, you need to, I think, consider the fact that, as the attorney mentioned, whatever millage rate you adopt this evening will go out to all of the taxpayers in a trim notice. So that's something also to consider.
So will resident can see the increase and decrease in the taxes?
I'm sorry?
Will resident can see in the increase or decrease in taxes?
Right. If they get the trim notice, then they will see, it will compare last year with what is tentatively proposed for this year. But it should say on that trim notice, correct me if I'm wrong, that this is not the final approval.
Correct. It says it's not a final notice. It is fact stated. It's called the truth in millage. It's a tentative proposed millage rate. Keep in mind, if you keep your millage rate the same as last year, 8.5, that may still result in a tax increase because property values rise. So your millage rate stays the same, so you're not raising the rate, but there may still result in a tax increase because the value of property in the town has gone up. That's why there's also the rollback rate, which is not considered a tax increase. That's whatever millage rate would generate the same amount of revenue that you brought in last year. So you're setting that millage rate this evening for advertising purposes, as the manager indicated.
Also, I will,
like to say something.
go ahead.
One, our millage rate is fine at 8.5. If you all want to raise the millage rate, that's political suicide, raising taxes, especially in an economy like this, knowing how screwed up our finances are here in the town of Pembroke Park. You all can't even spend the money that we got on projects. So raising the tax rate lets everybody around here know you're trying to dig into their pockets when they're trying to figure out right now to put gas in their car or food on their table. I believe it would be very foolish for us as a town to raise our tax at all. I think it needs to stay at 8.5. If we can bring it down at the September meeting, that would be great. I don't foresee us being able to bring it down, but 8.5 for right now, especially why we have the audit, not the annual audit, but the other audit of the town's finances going on, which will bring to light some other financial irregularities that we have going on in the town. So my suggestion is to keep it at 8.5 and move this forward.
What do you guys, okay with that? Okay,
Is that
Yeah,
is that a
that is-
motion, Mayor? I'm
If I
sorry.
need to,
Yeah.
I'll just make a motion.
Yeah.
yes,
Make a motion to keep the tax rate at 8.5%.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Tax.
I will second.
roll call, please.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette,
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kashem,
Yes,
Mayor Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Yeah, and may I just add that is why we were not necessarily recommending that you raise it. We just wanted you to know what we know, and we don't know everything yet, but as we do, we will keep you informed. So, thank you.
I mean, I'm a little concerned because like I'm looking now that I have a copy of the draft audit report from Zach. I'm kind of just concerned because I'm looking at the fact that it says material weakness, reconciliation of balances, audit adjustments, reinstatements, timeliness of bank reconciliations, expenses and accounts payable reconciliations, and timeliness. Like, we don't even know what our liabilities are still. Am I wrong in saying that, Zach? If these things, can you come up to the mic? I mean, if they're not still, we're still not in compliance. So how do we know what our liabilities are?
So the numbers in those financial statements are good effectively, but there were adjustments required from what was basically presented to us to what the numbers should be.
Are they now up to date?
At 9/30/25, that's as far as I can attest to.
Wait, September
that's a
30th,
yes.
2025.
Correct. So as far as where is anything today, we have not looked at any of that yet.
So we don't know what our liabilities are for all of 25 from September 2025, well, from
2024.
October 25 till now.
That would be an internal management question, basically, at this point, until we come in and audit next year.
Okay.
we're gonna fix it.
No, our finances are fine. They're just fine.
Not fine, so
I mean,
need the solution, so that's the reason the audit for.
yeah, well, I mean, this is why I was kind of like, because I'm now looking at this and I'm looking back at the 2024, and then I'm like, we're sitting here adopting a millage rate, and we're trying to figure out like, hey, what are our liabilities so we can know what to make the millage rate, so we can know how much to collect in order to know how much we'll have to spend out. But like the fact that it's this like circular kind of thing going on, but the circle is kind of broken because we don't know what our liabilities are.
Yeah, I mean, there is the internal, again, the audit's just the annual look at the numbers at that point. So anything in terms of where are you at, that would be purely internal at this point to say, hey, at the end of May, that the tax situation or otherwise, again, we have not yet seen any of that being in the current fiscal year.
Okay.
My ride did just get here, so I do need to step
All right.
out, but
All right, no problem. Thank you, Zach.
absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
David, I have a request, please. In future, those reports, can you provide us before the meeting? Because we didn't have a chance to look at it and we just see the presentation, and today is the boarding meeting, like no makes sense. Like we need little time to look at those things. In future, please.
We will be able to do that. This was just, we had to literally did this work this week. They just started on Monday, so we've been kind of putting it together during this week. So we didn't have it last week.
Okay,
That's why you're getting it so late, and I apologize for
no
that.
problem. It's okay.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at this, just more so the audit findings, and I'm just kind of like, the deficiencies that we're finding yet again for this year. Sorry. The findings that we're experiencing this year that we were told were taken care of or not, but I mean, the fact that these are not like minor issues, these are material weaknesses and significant deficiencies, as they stated. And so, you know, when you see that, you're like, well, you know, we're supposed to be kind of running around in a circle when it comes to finances. Is this is what we collect, this is what goes out, we know what to collect because this is how much has to go out. But if you're not even reconciled on your bank statements to know what's supposed to be going out, how do you know what to collect to cover what you're going to spend out? So,
Well, that's a summer project that we're going to be working on with the firm that's come in. Also, the Forvis Mazer people will be, I believe my last conversation with them, they said they would be presenting a risk assessment, their risk assessment findings and recommendations by probably July. So when we get that, we will work with the Eisner Amper folks to work on that and the things that are that you've identified, you know, in the audit to move in the direction of eliminating those deficiencies.
yeah, were there new findings? That's
No, I believe the only new finding had to do with
the building permit
no,
fund.
I think it was just the salary advance.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Point 2, Mr. Town Attorney, will you please read item 8.2?
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Item 8.2 is consideration and approval of a resolution authorizing the town manager to make budget amendments during the 2026 summer recess. The manager will speak to the item in a moment. For the record, it's Resolution 2026-059, a resolution of the Town Commission, the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, establishing procedures by which the interim town manager may authorize budget amendments during the Town Commission summer recess pursuant to Section 166-241, provided that the total appropriations of the fund may not change, authorizing interim town manager to move money between budget lines within a fund, so long as the total appropriations of the fund do not change, requiring such transfers only take place upon recommendation by the town's finance director, stipulating this authorization shall expire on September 1st, 2026, requiring town manager to present a detailed accounting of all transfers for ratification by the town commission, providing for conflicts, severability, and providing for an effective date. Just if I could briefly introduce, and I'll refer to the town manager, this is an additional limited delegation during summer operations. You may recall at your meeting last month, the commission, as it routinely does, provided expanded authority as it relates to procurement. All those contracts the manager would enter into over the summer will come back for ratification in September as they did last year, August or September as they did last year. Chapter 166, 166-241 in particular, as it relates to budget amendments, specifically allow a local government, a municipality, to establish procedures to provide for budget amendments. And this is the procedures consistent with state law. This is the financial side of the equation. The manager and I were talking the other day, and there's one other item as it relates to these summer's operations that and again, I don't want to speak for the manager, but just to sort of lay a predicate to the issue, there is one other item that's not included within any delegated authority to your manager this summer. We know that the financial issues are covered, but there are certain personnel issues that might arise over the summer, which I think your manager may be looking for some ability to act upon. Under our employee personnel manual, the manager has clear authority as it relates to all of the employees in the town, with the exception of those individuals that report directly to the commission. There may be a time, and again, I'm not predetermining anything, there may be a time when the commission is on recess that it would be necessary for the manager to take some consideration or some action as it relates to a department director or somebody who reports to the commission. Again, Dave can speak to this issue a little better, but I want to just offer the opportunity, if the commission would be so inclined to amend this resolution, add additional authority for your manager on a limited basis, as if and when there was an urgent need over the summer. I'm not suggesting for a moment any hiring. I know that's been an issue in the past. I'm not suggesting any termination. We know that's been an issue in the past. But the ability for your manager to place an employee on paid leave if there was a need at the recommendation of proper sources in the town, if there was a need for that to occur, I think that delegated authority to your manager might have some value. And again, I know Dave could expand on that a little bit, so inclined.
I make the motion to approve this resolution 2026-059 with the amendments as stated.
Thank you,
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Mohammed,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kashem,
Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. 9, audience, second reading.
Item 9.1, Madam Vice Mayor, thank you. For the record, is the consideration and adoption of ordinance number 2026-008, that repealing ordinance 2505 in its entirety. This is, for the record, ordinance 2608, an ordinance to the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, repealing ordinance 2025-005, adopted on September 10th, 2025 in its entirety, directing the town clerk to take any action necessary to effectuate the repeal of the ordinance, including removing the referendum question from the November 3rd, 2026 general election ballot, providing for conflict, severability, providing for an effective date. This is your second and final reading. You may recall this relates to the ad valorem tax exemption program that the commission was considering last year. It did require a referendum. The commission expressed an interest in repealing that ordinance and removing the item from the November ballot. There's been no change since first reading. This is second and final reading, and Madam Vice Mayor, this is a public hearing.
So there is no change from the first reading?
No change from first reading, that's correct.
Open public hearing? Close public hearing? Anyone can make a motion?
Motion
please?
to adopt.
Yeah, motion to approve 2026-008.
Is there a
Second.
second?
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kashem,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed,
Yes.
motion carries.
And I'll just confirm with the clerk, Madam Vice Mayor, that the item has not and will not be transmitted to the Supervisor of Elections.
Okay, thank you. 10, audience first reading. Town Attorney.
Thank you. Madam Vice Mayor, item 10.1, consideration and approval of an M1 text amendment for data centers and artificial intelligence facilities and a fee schedule. This is sponsored by your planning consultant, Mr. Von der Meulen. I know Ms. Andrea Harper is here in his stead. For reference, it is file number 26Z01. The applicant is the Town of Pembroke Park. This is a text amendment under Florida law. The address is it would apply citywide. The request is to amend Article 3, Division 6, that's the M1 Industrial District, that's Section 2-211, providing for intent and definitions and intent, 2811.5, permitted uses, 28-212, uses requiring approval by special exception for the Town of Pembroke Park Code of Ordinances for data centers and AI, training facilities, all within the M1 zoning district, ordinance 202610 for the record, and ordinance to the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Chapter 28 entitled Zoning, Article 3 entitled District Regulations, Division 6 entitled M1 Industrial District, Section 28-211 entitled Intent and Definitions, Section 28-211.5 entitled Permitted Uses, and Section 28-212 entitled Uses Requiring a Special Exception to allow for the regulation of data centers and artificial intelligence training facilities, establishing definitions, prohibiting data centers as a permitted use, requiring a special exception use approval for data centers, imposing location, infrastructure, climate resilience, employment, and operational standards, imposing various fees and financial assurances, requiring the decommissioning, providing for enforcement, codification, providing for severability, providing for an effective date. Ms. Harper is here for Mr. Von der Meulen. She can speak to the item. This is a text amendment to your zoning code. It would require a public hearing at the appropriate time, and I would defer to Ms. Harper for her presentation.
Andrea Harper, you have the floor.
Good evening.
The button. Yep, that's it. Keep going.
Bingo. Oh. Good evening, Mayor and Vice Mayor and Town Council. Andrea Harper for the record, Town Planner Consultant with Keith. I have before you tonight, and I'm asking for your consideration and approval. We're proposing a tax amendment to M1 district, the M1 district, for data centers and artificial facilities. Do we need to go through the presentation? Let's see here. Do I need to go through the presentation?
It's up to the commission.
You.
Why did that look?
Yeah.
She was nervous. Go ahead.
No, I mean, you guys added all the amendments that I sent in. I'm fine with it.
And I'll offer that Commissioner Mohammed had initiated this item. There's been some talk in Tallahassee with regards to the legislative session, both at the state level and federal, as it relates to regulation of data centers, artificial intelligence facilities. It's a fairly hot topic at the moment. At the Commissioner's request, at the Commission's request, we've worked with your planning consultants to provide a fairly comprehensive ordinance that will provide for regulations within the town. Most notably, they will be a prohibited use as a matter of right. There is a special exception mechanism in the proposed ordinance that would allow, under certain conditions and certain public hearings, the location of these types of facilities in the town. Again, I know that Ms. Harper has a presentation. She's happy to go into more detail, but that's the sort of the essence of the ordinance, is to provide for a regulation of those types of operations. Commissioner Mohammed has provided some very helpful feedback on the item. All of her comments have been incorporated into the document.
Do y'all
You guys need any question? I want to see the presentation go
No,
through.
we agree with this. But the other thing is there's already some counties that are preparing a moratorium on this issue, so we're not trendsetters anymore.
No, again, this legislative session, it was a fairly hot topic. There's been a lot of media and political attention on the issue.
Motion to adopt.
And
Sorry.
public comment,
Public, thank you. Public hearing.
closing public comment.
Motion to adopt.
Yes. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner
Call,
Mohammed
please.
made the first motion?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor Kashem?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
Is he muted?
Commissioner Mohammed?
Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
He's muted.
Yes.
There he is.
Motion carries.
Thank you, council.
You get Ms. Harper home in time for tip-off.
11, new business.
Thank you.
11.1, town attorney.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. For the record, item 11.1 is the consideration and approval of the resolution to add a qualified firm to the CCNA pool for environmental engineering services. Resolution 26-058, a resolution of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Resolution 2026-032, adopted on March 31st, 2026, providing for the recommendation of the HBC Engineering as an additional qualified firm to provide environmental engineering services pursuant to RFQ 2502, fighting for conflict, severability, and fighting for an effective date. Ms. Woodbury is here to present the item. It's on the floor for your consideration. Thank you.
As stated, this is the award recommendation for environmental engineering. This was already approved by the commission. We just wanted to add the number 3 ranked firm.
What was the total cost?
There's no.
No cost?
Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
There is no total cost until we contact the engineers for each individual project. So these are just agreements to have in place so that when a project comes up, we can get the cost from them.
Yeah, it actually saves us money in the long run, so we don't have to go through that procedure
That's right.
and wait for it to get the contract.
You're establishing a pool of qualified contractors for various services, professional services under the statute, engineering, architecture, landscape engineering. And as if and when you have projects, there'll be work orders or task orders, which will come before the commission with the specific scope of work and the cost. So this just qualifies the firms, gets them under contract, does not provide or assign any work, and is no guarantee of work. So this just puts these people in the town's roster.
Just putting them on the list.
Any discussion?
Do you need a motion?
Yes.
Please.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve 2026-058.
A second?
Roll call, please.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
Still muted.
Vice Mayor Kashem?
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed?
I'm sorry. Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette?
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed, you said yes, right?
No.
She said yes or no?
I said no.
Oh, you said no.
I said no. I don't like when people get a 56 and they got a F in their ranking, but yet we're adopting them because we need to adopt
Okay,
those.
so then it's 4.
Sorry.
Okay, motion carries.
Most of carries, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. 11.2, consideration and approval of purchasing a mobile band stand stage sponsored by Public Service Director Adams.
Good evening, Commission and Mayor. I'm here today for Director Jeff Odums, Manny Larsball, Deputy Director of Public Services. The company that we have particularly chosen is more of a sole source. Their system has a hydraulic system, so pretty much it allows for the unit itself to be able to be deployed with minimal staff assistance necessary. Has a faster delivery. It's a little bit cheaper than the others, and we'll be able to have it by March next year, give or take approximately. That's the time frame.
Before the election?
Hard to say.
But at least we have that, and
Yes,
we can say some word before we don't know who's gonna coming back.
Yes, the sooner we can get that approved, we can contact them and see get a closer time frame for that.
Do we have a price on it yet?
Like 180, I think it was. It was like 150, but with
was
all
one
the
max,
expenses, yeah, it was like
something like-
180.
180. So we are good, right? No discussion.
It was budgeted for 150, so right.
Okay.
It said in the backup it was budgeted for 150, but it was going to be like 180 ultimately.
So we need to change.
You probably want to do an up to something. The base price of the sort of, I don't know, the deluxe model, Manny, help me here, is I think 149, and then there's, you can add a bunch of bells and whistles, but they all cost something. So what are you all recommending?
But we will getting this one, right? The first one? But after that, if we add something, then that will be cost adding, right?
Correct. So any feature that we want to add will be an additional cost. So if you want to look
That is
through it,
coming out 180.
I'm not too sure.
That's the first the picture.
I'm not sure if that one will be 180 because that one looks like it has added features. So we would have to.
Yeah, but we need the shade too.
We'll verify.
If I could also just ask for the record, I had asked this question when we were going through the agenda review process as to the sole source justification. You said there was some specifics. If we could just have the record reflect the basis for the sole source purchase, that'd be helpful.
Yes. And again, the specifics for the sole source will be it's more of the hydraulic system that no other stage company utilizes. So that is that's their niche per se.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I was asking the same question. I was confused as to what was making this a sole source. They were cheaper than the other companies. And I'm like, well, if there are other companies, then it's not a sole source. So what was making this a sole source?
Explained to me by your staff. I had that same
Okay.
question, Commissioner.
Okay, yeah. All right, so then, so that we can get all our bells and whistles, I'll make the motion to purchase whatever this thing is called, this band shell thing, for an amount not to exceed 200,000. That way you can get your bells and whistles.
Is there a second?
So
I second.
motion for how much?
Up to 200.
Up to
Not to exceed
200.
Not to
200,000.
exceed 200. Roll call, please.
Next 200.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette,
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs, Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kashem.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
I what?
Thank you, sir. 13.3, Mr. Town Attorney.
Thank you. For the record, consideration approval, the ratification of a vendor selection. That's the Michael Grant painting for the painting at Town Hall.
Oh, my bad. It was 11.3.
11.3. I got you. Thank you. Resolution 2026-057, a resolution of the Town Commission, Town of Pembroke Park, ratifying the agreement for painting of the Town Hall awarded to Michael Grant Painting by the former town manager during the 2025 summer recess, attached to Exhibit A, acknowledging the agreement was inadvertently omitted, from Resolution 2025-020, which ratified the other agreements executed during that summer period, providing for conflict, severability, and providing for an effective date. Again, either-
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Kashem,
Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette,
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries.
May I read 11.4, Madam Vice Mayor?
Yes, 11.
Thank you. 11.4, Consideration approval of the resolution to rescind resolution number 2025-052 that relates to the town exterior restoration and painting. 2026-052 is a resolution of the Town Commission, Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, rescinding resolution 2025-052, awarding the Town Hall exterior restoration project to Quick Paint Group pursuant to ITB, that's invitation to bid number 2504, directing that no work proceed, authorizing staff to issue a formal notice of termination, providing for conflict, severability, providing for an effective date.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Mohammed,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs, Vice Mayor Kashem,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 11.5 was pulled. We're on 11.6, Madam
Thank you. Consideration and approval of the update organizational charts for all town hall departments, sponsored by interim town manager Sigerson.
Yes, you should have in your backup a revised organizational chart that shows the commission, that all the department heads reporting to the commission, which the comments that were made at the workshop.
Okay.
Can I just modify and put one little dashed line to the departments, to the manager, just so that there's no misunderstanding on vacation time and things like that need to be approved by the manager and informed to the manager.
Sorry, Commissioner, can you speak into the mic?
Yeah, I was basically saying that there needs to be like a little dotted line to the town manager for all the department heads that like vacation time and things like that coordination need to be done by the manager because you are responsible for the day-to-day operations. So there needs to be some kind of like nexus or whatever to that. So
Yeah, we can do that.
how to do that, but I'm assuming it'll be like a little dotted line.
I'm not sure either, but yeah, I talked to Bradley about that, and we couldn't quite figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
But we can work on that.
Okay.
Sure. I think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So you want to wait till it's updated?
Yes. We can bring it up again. This is not a crucial
Okay.
item.
No. Okay.
Okay, move to August.
I was trying. Okay.
good, no discussion?
No, we're gonna save it for next, whatever. Huh? I know, at the end of December, y'all will put my little dots and then bring it back to me.
Yeah, we can bring it back in the fall.
Okay. I mean, otherwise it was fine. It's just
Yeah.
that it just kind of needed the little, like, little dots or something, basically stating that, well, yes, these are department heads and they report directly to the commission, but we're not the ones signing off on you're going on vacation for the summer. That would be you, because you're responsible
Yeah.
for the day-to-day.
Yeah, we can figure that out.
Okay.
We'll bring it back.
You just go
Okay,
to the
sounds
line
good.
item.
Okay, so we'll bring it back for the next meeting. 11.7.
11.7, motion to authorize the use of excess funds pursuant to section 553.80 to fund scanning necessary for upgrades to technology, hardware and software in order to enhance service delivery for the building department, sponsored by Commissioner Mohammed.
Okay, but I thought we were taking all three together, weren't we not?
Yeah, I think,
We'll give you a memo.
Vice Mayor, that if we could discuss the 11.7 in connection with
13.1.
13.1.
It's always good to get this stuff ahead of time so we don't have
Can we
to
do that?
Yeah, I mean, that's, the will of the commission.
It's the same thing.
They're related items. So it'd be 11.7 and 13.1 combined.
So do you want me to read it at the same time?
You can read 13.1.
Okay. 13.1, discussion and possible action on the relocation of the building department architecture plans for the community center and technology improvements, sponsored by Mayor Jacobs and Commissioner Mohammed.
And depending on the commission's intent, we may need separate motions, but they can certainly be discussed together.
So any discussion?
Okay, so the memo I just handed out was basically like talking about the Florida statute, the 553.80, and then just giving you like some kind of information about other cities that are using AI for the building department. But remember, that was my backup suggestion. That was not my main suggestion, because my main suggestion was our community center and using it to pay for the architectural portion for the building department to be located in the community center. We also, hopefully, fingers are still crossed, we're knocking on some wood, that there's the $600,000 from the state to cover the community center, community portion of the community center. So I'm trying to basically take a chunk from here, take a chunk from here to get our community center
So
architecture.
your idea is to move our department from this building to the new community center in order to get the funding for the community center.
Well, it would.
Part of it.
Part of it, but it would also give us the space that we need, because we've been talking about certain things like classrooms. Well, the building department can cover the classrooms if they're utilizing those classrooms to do education to the community for, like, code enforcement, or things like that. So it would pay for some of that. But what is the cost how much money do we have? Because I know at one point we were told 1.2, and then at another point we were told like 500,000. So what is the actual amount of the funds in the building department that we can actually access and utilize?
It's less than what we thought, and it depends on what you decide tonight on how you want to allocate those funds. But
Was it around 235?
no, I think
Dang.
Jeffrey Lewis is going to speak to the numbers. He and I have talked about it. So, Jeffrey?
Jeffrey Lewis, building manager for the town of Pembroke Park. Yes, I've been talking with the town manager and going back and forth in regards to our operating expense overage and what it actually looks like at the end of this year, considering all the operation expenses. And it's just around 300,000.
Okay.
Well, that's if you spend $100,000 up to $100,000 on the scanning project. There's probably about just under 400,000 available.
You're correct.
Yeah.
Scanning
Okay,
project, you're thinking of files?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so if you go on the third floor, there's actually three rooms.
How much money are we gonna have to get back?
Back to who?
We believe that there is just under 400,000, perhaps 392,000 roughly, that it would be considered excess.
Okay, and then I'm gonna just put this on the record, because after some deep diving with Cynthia, I found out that Cynthia was paying for the scanning of the building department records from the clerk's department and not from the building department. And so I did ask, but I know we don't have the numbers yet, of how much was actually spent from the clerk's department finances instead of from the building department to scan the other rooms that were upstairs on the third floor of building records. Because we need to be paid back for it, because we're spending money from general fund to subsidize the building department in covering the cost of their scanning.
Why did not let us know before?
This-
Because I was just
Getting it done.
everybody. I scanned every department, whatever was up there. I separated them, we labeled them, and we scanned everybody's public works, everybody's, not only building.
So what about the money you use from that, so that you can
So
transfer the money
every
from the
time I
building
asked,
department to?
every
Okay.
time I asked is to cover everybody, which was all the departments mixed in that room.
Okay, so if we are able to transfer, so that.
Yeah, so I think that's one thing, and then there's still 3 full rooms of records. I sent it to you. I sent you pictures of it.
Yeah, it's
but I
on
mean,
third floor,
I
right?
saw
yeah,
it.
third floor. If you go in those rooms, there's 3 rooms literally of nothing but building department records that need to be scanned. So we're looking at what, $100,000 to scan that?
It's both building and planning and zoning that are in the rooms. So we'll have to separate those two as well.
Okay. So we need to, reimburse ourselves. You need to back out the numbers so we can reimburse ourselves for what we spent that should not have been spent from the town side, but should have been spent from the building side. Second, we need to go ahead and scan all the rest of those 3 rooms. So I'll make a motion not to exceed 100,000 to scan those 3 rooms and get that done and off our backs.
While the summer excess, we are.
Yeah. Is there a second?
Is that a second, please?
I'll second that.
Wait a second, I still got a question. So are you talking about hiring a company to come in and do this?
We already have a company that's doing it. We just need to send the stuff over there, let them come get the stuff and scan it and digitize it, archive it, whatever the heck you
Okay.
call it, laser fish it,
So
whatever.
last time we tried to do it internally,
No.
it ended up being a
No.
bigger project.
No, there's a company we have a contract with right now that Cynthia's been using to scan stuff, but there's literally 3 rooms
Okay.
left on the 3rd floor that they were gonna just sit there and save it till next year's budget. And I'm like, why are we waiting and saving it for next year's budget when we have the funds here
Okay,
to
so
go ahead and get it done and we have a contract?
Then how much,
How much is left?
July 1st, how much money are we going to have to get back?
No, we're pulling, so basically we have 400,000. We're gonna pull 100,000 to cover the scanning of what's left up there. So then there's 300,000 basically left to play with. And we still need to reimburse ourselves, which they have to back out how much we already spent to back it out to make it come from the right account, because we've already expended money from the general fund scanning their stuff.
I get what you're doing. I'm just asking how, I don't want to use the term play with when it comes to taxpayer funds, but the statute's pretty clear that we got to get money back. And
Well, no, you
July,
have
I mean,
expended stuff that you haven't,
we're getting to the date where the deadline drops on July 1st. I mean, I'm just trying to figure
well, no,
out,
you wouldn't have to necessarily.
you gotta have some kind of solid number.
You have 3 things up in the air. Well, 4 things technically up in the air. One is scanning of the building records. That has to be done. So you might as well just pull 100,000 from that to cover the rest of what needs to be scanned. And then we don't know how much we need to pull back that we've paid for already. Then you have the software. The software, that's what I passed out. You don't have a copy of it, but basically we've been looking at AIing the building department. Mark, you've called and gotten some quotes on some stuff.
Yeah, I can talk about that if you'd like.
Yeah, so that's what that little memo was, because I didn't know if you had a memo together for it or not when I asked last week.
So after that money using, so we don't have to give any money back.
We have to decide, are we AIing the building department? Are we using the money for the 3rd floor? Are we using the money for the building department in the community center? So there's 3 options on the table.
So we can go to the AI because either way we need it.
Okay.
Mark Pakula, IT Director. Yeah, I had a meeting this morning, basically outlining the project, starting with the building department with a kiosk. There's a build-out cost of about $50,000 over a 3-month period. But this company is very aggressive and very good, and probably we could see results within 3 to 4 months. Having a kiosk in here, we would need to buy, that's $50,000 just on the back end to build it out and things of that nature, just for the building department. There's a lot more it can do, and that's something we'd have to budget for next year on. Or if there's more money on these funds to spend, there's still more we could do to the building department to get other things up and running that we want to integrate with it also. So if you wanted to spend, let's say, $100,000, that would get us for the hardware, design, and also the maintenance that would come with that
For the kiosk.
for the kiosk.
Okay, but what about No. So Naples is using Blitz AI. I know you reached out because you have a friend over at Naples.
Yes.
How much is Blitz, or how much is Auto Review AI with University of Florida, or how much is SwiftGov that Jacksonville is using?
Some of those I couldn't get any numbers from. They were still, from my conversations, still working on building it out, and they hadn't had a number. I hadn't gotten any numbers from them. I can work on getting more numbers, but 50 is the number I've been getting from a lot of different companies, just the startup part. All right, that seems to be the number everybody seems to want to throw out there. To build it out, there's a lot of planning involved with building, of course, because of workflow and all those things. But that would give us an opportunity to use it all over the town, for the finance department, public works, even the police department, the clerk's office. It can overlap a lot of different departments, and those are things, because these funds are very specific. We could do it specifically for the building department and what they would tailor and need with the hardware, kiosk, and the software.
So the 400,000, 100,000 is goes to the building department for the scanning, and 300,000 you are getting back the money from, you use the general fund, and the rest of the money you can use from that. Why? Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
we could use,
Know the exact number, but you think we are able to make the code and working on it, and then like Mayor is concerned about that, like we are not giving money back. So what we are using the money for, so we should know about the amount.
yeah, that 100 was a conservative number. I mean, you could definitely go up on the building department to 150 when you bring in the software and the kiosk and the integration to all the different things. That number easily could go to 150 or 200, you know.
Okay, so I think after that, there is not going to be money left. So.
Well, not only that, consider that we would also be a hardware refresh, which is part of what we can use the money for. So I've spoken to Jeffrey a little bit about that. There are things that we need for software and other licensing that we could use that for. So
we are not losing any money.
I mean, we can spend it, you know.
So I just want to go on the record and say, one, I don't trust the numbers in Pembroke Park for anything financially, especially when it comes to the building department. I do not like where we're at, and the fact that the statutes have changed and there's a lot of accountability. I don't want to be attached to the manipulation of money from the building department. This is, while it sounds good, we don't even know what the numbers are. There's no defined, hey, we have this much number. It's kind of, we got this, so we're going to spend this. Maybe we're going to do this. That's not being fiscally responsible with money when we don't even know what we have and what we're spending. And what it seems like right here is a last-minute scramble trying to spend what we have, or at least account for it, before the deadline of July 1st. And this whole thing is starting to sound even more sketchy than the financial problems we already have going on in Pembroke Park. But I just want to go on the record, say that. I really want nothing to do with what's going on with this, because it's sounding sketchier and sketchier as you guys continue with what you're talking about. So I may be wrong, but not been wrong about a lot around here. So it makes me very nervous with what you guys are doing. So that's all I have on this one.
Is there?
Okay, no, well, we have to have the discussion. Okay, you have 300,000 left. Do you want to allocate 100,000 to the AI software conversion with the kiosk? Mark?
150.
150 is the number I was talking about total with everything.
Oh, okay. And then, so, attorney, if we obligate 150,000, because it was, you only had until July 1st if you were doing build outs.
Correct.
If you're doing software conversions, you don't have a.
Yeah, so, and last month, our office published a memorandum detailing the recent change to state law. We know, first of all, that there's a limit in what the town's obligated, or permitted, I should say, to carry forward year to year, and that's not to exceed 4 years of the average. That said, there are currently 4 permitted uses for those excess funds. One is to rebate and reduce fees, as the mayor indicated, return them to your residents. The other is to upgrade technology, hardware, or software systems to enhance service delivery, which your manager has suggested. There's the opportunity to use those funds for training programs for building officials, inspectors, or plans examiners associated with the Florida Building Code. Or the fourth option, is to pay for the construction of a building or structure that houses a local government's building code enforcement agency. But the excess funds used for construction, again, can only be carried over for 4 consecutive years. That last option, the ability to use funds to pay for construction of a building or structure to house your code enforcement or building, that will not be an option after July 1st. So we have some indication from Tallahassee, your consultant, Ms. Carper, has confirmed this through some resources in the legislature, that those funds, if they are appropriated, if they are designated, if they are allocated before July 1st, that is a permitted use. That was the intent of the legislation that was passed this session. So they don't need to be spent by July 1st, but this commission needs to say by motion, we're going to hire this firm to do this work. It's going to be used for design of a building for your code enforcement or building. That has to happen prior to the end of this month. So if that is the intent of the commission, you can't do it this evening because there's nothing on the agenda tonight. But if the intent of the commission is to use those funds for that purpose, you will need another meeting before the end of the month to make that specific designated award. If that's not the intent of the
Why
commission.
wouldn't, okay, so 13.1 is the discussion and possible action of the relocation of the building department architectural plans for the community center. So why couldn't we
don't-
make a motion to allocate 150,000 to the architecture firm that we just approved for the CCNA?
We don't have a scope from them. We don't have, I mean, we don't have a,
150 ain't gonna get us much.
we again, I mean, you got something, you have a place to hang your hat on tonight's agenda, but you don't have you got a CCNA contract, but you don't have a work order, you don't have a task order. If you said, we're gonna provide this firm with this amount or not to exceed this amount, we will use that as delegated authority and sort of point to that as the commission's action. But again, having something that the commission takes action on before 7/1 for that purpose is really what would need to occur if you're going to use the funds for that specific option, because that will not be an option after the first of the month.
So basically with the 150 going to IT, out of the 100 going towards scanning, 150 going towards IT for the AI stuff, we have 150 left, correct?
Yes.
So we could allocate tonight 150 towards,
You have to give the money back to the Cynthia also. Do you know how
don't
much?
know.
We don't know the number.
It could be hard to break down.
It's not, it
For you.
could be 50,000? Because I remember we had an in-house, like we paid 40,000 and like 2 years, the scanning was not done. So it could be.
but she can break it out because they'll say which departments it was.
The invoices are very detailed. It tells you how many pages and the sizing of the pages. So I can always go back.
So you can, 50 is okay for you?
Yeah, 50,000.
Okay, so then we have left 100,000.
How much can I get out of 100,000 for architecture? What can I get for 100,000?
Well, you have to.
At least we can start something.
They can,
Give us the idea, Jeffrey.
they can get what, a basic schematic? Out of, more detail than what I got from AI that's blurry, that y'all like to say it is blurry. I'm asking. I mean, you guys were fine with the community center layout that I did?
Yes, I am.
That was
I think
blurry.
the idea is brilliant, but we don't have a price point at this point.
No, well, you need an
I like a little,
architecture.
It's gonna go more than
Yeah,
two.
so-
It's more than 100,000.
Yes,
It's going to be
it's
more
gonna
than
be more
100,000.
than-
We have 600,000 that's coming from the state if the governor doesn't veto it.
So we can dedicate,
Dave, why'd you give me that look?
so we can dedicate that one for the community center.
Our people in Tallahassee are certainly diligently working towards not having that happen to the design money that the legislature allocated to 235,000 and change for that was the what was allocated for the design money. So
So then let's go
You
to
can
the
get
student, the third floor. then,
You can
instead
get the,
of-
well, but are you going to move the building department up to the third floor? And that's not going to be
No,
enough either.
no.
That won't be enough.
Okay, so you can
then-
get, Odom's just said we can get the conceptual drawings for that amount
Okay,
for the community center.
I am
For
okay
the
with
building
that.
department and the community center, you'll get the conceptual schematics, which would be something that you can take to try to shop around for funding.
And it's a
It's up to you guys.
little bit of a loose concept at this point, but we all want to have a community center.
Yeah,
But in the current financial situation, that could take a very long time to get it financed. So I think we should start the process, but I'm not too hopeful about when.
but at least we can try.
Yeah, he says we'll get our visual drawings and projections, which would help us move it forward. It would help
I
us.
believe so too. But again, we have $100,000.
Okay,
I'm not going to get anywhere.
so
We'll
how
see.
are we gonna do the motion?
All right.
I have a couple,
Well, we could put our town managers to start digging in their budget and find a bag of money somewhere.
I'd be
You're
hopeful.
fine.
So item 711 that you approved on consent was the approval of a number of continuing service architectural contract loans.
Okay,
Again, there is not a work order on tonight's agenda, but you do have a placeholder, as Commissioner Mohammed said, which contemplates the engagement of an architecture firm for this purpose.
The other option is also to deal with public records as well. We want to bring in additional software for public records request to speed up the process.
No,
Okay.
we're not gonna go now, this one, because you already.
But if, I'm sorry, if you're looking to make a motion, I would,
Yes,
again,
that's right.
I don't know I don't know if one of these architectural firms is the one that you intend to engage. I don't know if the intent is just to direct your staff to engage the most qualified among the qualified for that purpose.
Yes, that,
But I would like to, again, it would be a motion to allocate, is it 150 or 100? How much?
150 for the IT.
So, well, not for IT, this is for the
I
architecture.
mean, yes, the
architecture.
IT will look for that one.
Okay, so it's a motion to allocate $150,000 of your excess building department funds pursuant to section 553.80 to the architectural renderings and design, conceptual design of a facility to house your building department, code enforcement department.
Yes,
And the specific intent is to ensure that money will be allocated as of July 10th.
yeah.
Commissioner, did you want to exclude some money to reimburse Cynthia's budget
Yes,
from
she
the
did.
balance?
We have 100 going towards Cynthia for the new stuff. We don't know, oh, sorry. We have 150 for the new stuff. We have 150 for our AI slash, since Mark isn't quite sure, I'm sure we might have some money left over, right? 150 for the AI. I'm looking at that face. Yeah. Okay.
And commissioners, just to clarify what Jeffrey was saying, we do have a public records request platform already in place. But Jeffrey and I had a conversation that other cities have lien searches done online. Company submits lien searches online and everything's done online. So I suggested if you could, if available, to include that technology so we can provide that service. And it would pay for itself eventually because the requester already pays either 75 or 125 or 150 for rush fees. And I believe the lien searches are increasing on a monthly basis. And I suggested to him because it falls, most of his department is the one that has to provide a response anyway for to the lien responses. So that's all.
Just as a curiosity, how many lead searches have we done in the, say, the last 2 years or something like that? Got any idea? Is it a lot? It's a lot.
But wouldn't it be easier once the records are actually scanned?
Once the records are scanned and available, yes, it would be a lot easier. In a week, we typically get about 6 to 7 in a week. So in the last 2 years, I can
Yeah.
imagine
Okay. Yeah.
So then, where are we at?
100, 200, yeah. So
My community.
250.
Let's go, let's go.
Yeah, if you get
So,
250 or
You
300
already
a year,
explained,
it's
right?
Yeah,
You already
again-
did, so then you have to make a motion.
I made the
So
motion
that-
as stated.
So that's a motion by Commissioner Mohammed.
And is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Madam Clerk, do you have the motion?
No, that's what I'm trying to get. So I need to know the numbers.
All right, so Commissioner Mohammed is making the motion to designate $150,000 of the excess building funds for the architectural design and conceptual drawings of a facility to house the code enforcement building operations.
Okay.
I didn't give you the 50,000 back.
So 150,000 for the.
Yes,
But in that motion, if I might, it's a delegation to the town manager to select one of the architectural firms to provide that service and define a scope of work not to exceed that amount,
This is 150K.
150,000.
Okay.
That-
And then
Need a second to that motion.
yes.
Bill has seconded.
Yeah, Bill
from-
seconded.
Second by Commissioner Hodgkins.
All right.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Jacobs,
Absolutely not.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kashem,
Yes,
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette,
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Then you also have a standalone motion for up to $100,000 for the scanning.
Yes.
Okay. The first motion was made by Commissioner Mohammed, seconded by Acting Clerk Commissioner Morrison.
No,
No.
I didn't second it.
Yes, you did. Yes.
That was earlier before you went to the bathroom.
The 100,000 for the scanning. That was item 11.7, which we didn't do a roll call for.
For the scanning of the software.
Scanning of the third floors, all the records on the third floor.
Yeah, I understand that.
So
Okay, roll call.
you'll
Would have seconded it.
you'll second? Okay. All right, roll call.
Just in case.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs,
Again, absolutely not.
Vice Mayor Kashem,
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carries. All right.
Okay, so that's 150.
Do we need a motion for the IT
Going
money?
back to your,
Do we need a motion for the IT money?
The IT stuff, yeah.
yes.
But that,
The
there's no
timing-
time,
the
there's no
correct.
time.
The only issue that had a timing component was
Was-
the
Yeah, yeah, but I did the motion for the scanning just to kind of force y'all to get it done.
And then returning the general.
And to return the general fund. You
Do we
have-
need a motion for that, Town Attorney?
Yeah, that would
Yes.
be in order, yeah, if you're gonna reallocate those funds, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
But we don't know
makes
how
a
much it is
motion?
yet. I mean,
Who gonna make
what
a
are you
motion?
thinking?
Ashira, make
Hold
a
on.
motion.
You bring it back in the fall if you don't know the number.
Yeah, we don't know the number. Yeah, that's the
This is
problem.
to reimburse the general fund?
Yeah, it's to transfer the money from, or do we want to just give the manager direction to?
That's, you could do that.
Okay, so I make a motion to give the manager the authority to transfer, to work with you to find out how much we spent on scanning of building department records and to reimburse the general fund from the building department for those records scanned for the building department that was paid for through the general fund.
I second.
all right.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Mohammed,
Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kashem,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs,
No.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Do you want one for the AI or
That was
are we
enough.
good? No, we got your no for reimbursement of the building department funds to the general fund. Do you want the AI one now?
Yep,
or
okay.
do you- Yes, you want the AI one now? I mean, listen,
Yeah, go ahead and do the AI.
okay. All right, so I make a motion to allocate 150 towards the AIing, I don't know how to say this, of the building department.
Okay. Is there a
And giving the
second?
manager the authority to enter into whatever contracts need be to move that forward. Is that fine?
Is there a second?
Yes.
I can second it.
No.
Is there a second?
Hodgkins.
No.
Okay.
I'll second it to get it on the.
Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor
Is there
Kashem.
discussion? Is there a discussion?
Is there any discussion?
Well, I think the understanding of AI and how it's going to function in the building department needs to be explained better. Because
So a couple of the concepts we're working on, it's not just the AI for the building department walking up to the kiosk, it's also the AI for Copilot within the building department for all our users to use. That's also going to be included in that. Right now, our AI policy basically states we don't use AI for that particular reason. We don't have it built out, we don't have guardrails on it. So it's not only for the kiosk, it's also everybody in the building department will have Copilot, paying for Copilot, getting it done on the back end. You also have to set that up. So the theory is that someone wants to come in and get a permit for a hot water heater, go up to the kiosk, they put their information in, it spits it out, they can walk right into the building department, they verify it, and they can go on their way. Now, there's a little more workflow depending on what we do, and that will come from the building department itself as to how extensive we want it to be. But that's just the beginning of what we want to do. There's a lot more to it. We want to do it for the town, we want to do it for the police, clerk, anybody coming in. But we mainly, like I said, we're going to focus just on the building department. If we get the lien lane search. We could work with the software and that integrate it right in there. We're trying to alleviate people having to take over people's time at the counter, and if they can do it at the console, they can go right there and do whatever they want. You know, we're going to get through a list and get everything we want to do.
How would you actually go up to a kiosk and ask and say, okay, I'm remodeling my bathroom. Here's my new, here's my schematic of the. How are you going to do that on a kiosk?
Well, okay.
So what it is that you're going to take your site plans, you already have them digitally. You're going to upload it into the system. The AI system is going to review those plans and say, hey, you know, you might need, you know, two GFA outlets here. You might need this, this, or this. And it's going to give you a printout of, hey, these are the corrections that need to be made. You know, and that way you're going to have a printout of what you need, what you're missing, what you're lacking, because the AI system is going to actually review those blueprints and plans to make sure that it complies with the Florida Building Code and with the city's building code. And it's going to give you those printouts back. You're still going to have your permit technicians there, but it kind of eliminates that human error of things that get missed that we get those calls for, that, hey, you're 3/4 of the way through it. Oh my God, you forgot something. And now you're going to have to knock that wall back out or open that wall back up to put something in. So your building department is still going to be there. Those permit people are still going to be there, but the AI is going to review all of that stuff first and kick it back out to you saying, hey, these are the things that are missing first.
The other part of that is it will parallel on our website. So let's say you're doing construction, you can upload your plans right in there. And then if you wanted to continue on when you came in the front door in the lobby, because that's where we plan on putting it, you know, and this is just part of what we want to do. But this is all just for the building department right now because the funds are just for them. But like I said, we're going to be building out AI for all the desktops and integrate it that way.
And it's so
It's gonna
faster.
speed up the- it's
so
gonna
faster
speed up the
and the
process.
easy way, the time concern.
Remember how last year it was like, what, 4 months before that lady got her permit for her hot water tank? It took me 6 months for my permit for my roof. Like, I mean, these are things that are standard things
That's
that
because
should
it
be
was you?
taken.
No,
I know, it's always me.
I have a question to Mr. Horowitz, if I may. What are the legal consequences if AI gives people a wrong answer or suggestions and it's not being caught by the real people overlooking it? You know, who are we going to blame? An AI?
I'll give you an example of something like that.
It's a very good question. I'm going to offer just two comments. One, you know, this is one of those areas, and there are several, where the law has not caught up with the technology. I mean, the technology is simply outpacing the law and legislation on a number of areas, AI being one of them. The other thing, to the extent that the town or any municipality or government intends to move forward with AI operations, one of the things we will need to do over your summer recess is work with your IT director to establish an AI policy. There will be policies that define the limitations, the uses, what's permitted, what's not permitted. There may be disclaimers of liability as it relates to that process, but we will have to include the appropriate benchmarks and safeguards in those policies to address all of the issues, including the ones you're describing, Commissioner. And it's not novel. I mean, this is an issue that municipalities and local governments throughout the country are struggling with.
It'll keep the law firms busy anyway.
Well, to that point, there are firms and there are lawyers who are specializing and
AI.
establishing niche practices
Yeah.
in AI and technology.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
I also say that AI have a variation of quality because if you challenge what AI gives you, they change its opinion. And so it's a very flimsy, not very well documented system. We're early days, I understand that, and it's going to be brilliant in the future. But at this point, I have to double read and double check everything that comes out of AI.
I will tell you from my perspective, AI is a good tool, is a helpful resource, but it is not reliable. And I only say that because we see things on a routine basis. I've seen things in this town where AI has been used and it cites to improper statutes. It tells you a statute says X when the statute says Y.
That's my worry.
It's just wrong, and that happens.
Yeah.
If I may say one thing, this in no way would replace Jeffrey or the experience of those people. They're still going to review this stuff. This is for the initial part is to help speed up the process. All right. It is not, there's not going to be where it's not going to automatically say you're approved and go have your permit. No, Jeffrey and his team are all going to still have to review it, you know, and AI learns as it gets better. You know, this is one of the things with building it out. You just don't set it and forget it. Our company that we're talking about, they're constantly going to be working with that system. It's not a system where you just build AI and just leave it alone. The hallucination rate that we talk about gets huge if you don't do that. The whole goal, and basically hallucination is a word for a mistake. Okay, we want that mistake error to be very low, and it gets better over time as AI learns, and we work with it to build it out. But in no way would it replace human, and I absolutely agree with the town attorney, disclaimers, all kinds of things, and none of it would go live once we work on the workflow for the building department. They're going to help design it.
Now, one other comment, again, this is sort of anecdotal, but the chief judge in Broward County, within the past 6 months, has issued an administrative order that applies to all lawyers in Broward County and all litigants in Broward County, also pro se people representing themselves. If you use AI to prepare any pleading, any motion that's submitted to a court in Broward County, you need to disclose it. It's not prohibited, but it does require a disclosure on every pleading that's submitted in Broward County.
Makes sense. Yeah. I mean, personally, I've seen architects put plans in and forget to put the ½ inch that you need in a hallway for the sheetrock, and or not figure it in, and next thing you know, you got a hallway that's too small, and it doesn't meet code, and you got to rip down walls, bearing walls, and all kinds. It's crazy stuff that can happen just with architects making slight mistakes.
It's happening in our town.
With AI, I don't
In our
know.
past, right?
With AI, I don't know what will how that will
Okay.
alleviate anything, really, to tell you the truth. I don't know if it will or not. I think it's too new of a technology.
I'd like to say something real quick. It's the bottom of the ninth. Less than, maybe 20, 21 days you have to have the building department funds allocated. And we're having discussions about spending money on concepts of an AI system for the building department. Now, building department funds are heavily regulated and heavily controlled, and the numbers don't even match what was left when the former building official left. There was around $900,000 in that account, and there's been deposits, large deposits since, and then we're saying that there's only 400,000 in there. The math doesn't math. Okay, I've made very clear I'm not going to jail for any of you or this town. And one thing I know for sure, not to mess with the building department when it comes to funds. I mean, they were mixed in the general fund when I first got here. I had to get Harry to pull it out and have a separate account. And I was, 4 months that I was here when things started, exposing themselves. So this is I get there are AI systems out there for the building department and whatnot, but this is like a concept of we're going to do this. Oh yeah, we're just going to allocate this money and we're going to figure it out along the way. You guys don't even have a sure plan in place at the moment. And granted, we're out of time. You got 21 days, and as of July 1st, everything changes. So I get what you're trying to do, and I understand what you're trying to do, but this is one of those situations. I'm going to warn each and every one of you. I wouldn't be messing with this money at this point. It scares me, and if it scares me, it should really scare each and every one of you, because I have an understanding of what's going on here, and you guys don't You've had 3 years to spend this money since you guys have been here. You've had 3 years. We had a plan in place when you guys got here. And you guys shot everything down, killed all the projects, and ended everything that was put in place to spend these funds the right way, the ethically way, and the legal way. And now you guys are scrambling, trying to find ways to spend the money before the deadline hits. So I'm just going to end this. My statement here is, again, I do not want to be tied to this. This is a very dangerous area that we're in here. So the math doesn't math. It doesn't make sense to me. So, and the fact that we don't even know where we're at financially in the town really, really makes me uncomfortable. So I'll end with that. Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Kashem,
Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
kind of conflicted on this. Kind of conflicted on it because I'm into seeing progress. I don't like to see it coming so fast that it actually creates a problem. So
Well, it's gonna have to come back before us. I mean, eventually,
I think that's exactly what should happen. I think we,
but we're giving them direction to get it done, like to start pulling up and researching and getting everything.
we can give, if we're voting on just getting direction and we're not spending money to get direction, that's fine.
It's more so you're allocating, how do you say it? Obligating it. Allocating, obligating it. But I mean, it still has to,
You're allocating it.
yeah, it
If we're
still has to.
allocating the funds, I'm not for it.
I'm sorry, repeat that. Yes or no?
I'm sorry?
Yes or no?
No,
No.
no.
Mayor Jacobs?
No.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
I have the same concern, but I mean,
13.3, motion to approve the repayment and recovery agreement between the town and Commissioner Hodgkin providing for the repayment of payroll. Oh, no, no, this is, it's fine, right? Payroll advances consistent with the recommendation of Forvis merger sponsored by interim town manager Segerson and town attorney Horwitz. Update title and supporting documents.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. I'll sort of speak to the item preliminarily, then defer to the manager to supplement the conversation as needed. The commission is very well aware of this issue. It's certainly been discussed ad nauseum. Your financial auditing consultants, Forvis Mazer, consistent with the recommendation of both your town manager and your town attorney, have all advised that it's in the town's interest to enter into a document to provide for the repayment of any payroll advances that were previously dispersed to Commissioner Hodgkins, as we're aware. I want to be very clear about a couple things. The document that's before you on the agenda is not a loan document. It is not a promissory note. There's nothing about the item before you this evening that would ratify or confirm or memorialize a loan. It is a repayment document. There's some language in here that I just want to read into the record, and we know a couple of the operative facts. We know that between December 24 and March of 2026, there was a pre-tax payroll advance provided to a member of the commission. We know that the commissioner, and again, he can certainly speak for himself, we know that, and I want to just read this as well to his credit, the commissioner is well aware that requests were made of the town and that the town's professional staff had the authority, the discretion, and the opportunity to deny those requests and defer those requests. Nevertheless, we know that there were payroll advances that were made. We know that this town commission never authorized any of those payroll advances. For the record, the commission would question and dispute the legality and the validity of those payments. Nevertheless, we know those payments were made. The agreement before you does a couple things. It provides for the repayment of all payroll advances. It does not in any way provide for the approval or ratification or confirmation of those advances. It maintains the commission's position that the underlying disbursements were unauthorized. However, it does also not admit any wrongdoing on the part of anybody. This commission did not do anything improper. The commissioner who received the benefits did not do anything improper. And there's language that provides for a very balanced acknowledgement that this occurred and that it provides for the repayment of that obligation. We know that the commissioner has been repaying the loan on a regular basis, and to date, $20,000 has been repaid to the town. This has been an ongoing process. We know that as a matter of fact. We know that this will continue to provide for the repayment and reimbursement to the town until the obligation has been fully satisfied. And we know that that obligation will extend beyond any current term of office to the extent that the repayment isn't completely satisfied before the end of the current term. There's a reservation of rights that's included within the agreement. It does not dismiss or negate any third-party investigations to the extent that there are any third-party review that might be taking place. The town's sole interest from your manager's perspective, from your town attorney's perspective, is to ensure that the town is made whole in this process. Your finance department has provided the operative numbers as it relates to any payroll advances that have been provided. The document before you will secure the repayment of all those advances. Be clear again, to reiterate, there is no admission of wrongdoing on the part of the town. There's no admission of wrongdoing on the part of any member of this commission. This is simply a mechanism to provide for repayment. It doesn't approve anything, doesn't deny anything, but it ensures that the town will be made whole and will be repaid in full through a process that's set out in the agreement. It also provides a delegated authority to your town manager and to your finance director to negotiate a payment plan, should that be another opportunity. So there is some.
So that is means like Commissioner Hodgkin can have a number and giving the number. Like, well, he's already paying back, right? Is that it?
He has been returning a set amount per paycheck for the past number of months. That amount has increased over time. If the amount were to decrease, if the amount were to increase further, the number in your document before you is not set in stone. Your finance director and your manager have the flexibility to enter into a payment plan with the commissioner so long as that plan ensures and provides for the full repayment of that obligation, and the obligation extends beyond this current term of office. It provides for collection beyond beyond March of next year. Again, not knowing what the future holds for any one of us, this will ensure that the town is repaid both either through the commissioner or through any other opportunities that might be there.
So he has the number, like if he'd like to put the repayment, he can choose the number, right?
He can pay in full tomorrow, should he choose to do that. He can spread that payment out over a period of time.
What about if we decrease the amount?
He can decrease the amount.
So then it's between town manager and finance, he has to.
The commissioner can make the request. Your finance director and your town manager can approve the request. There is a safeguard in here as it relates to recovery under a life insurance policy, to the extent that that were to be an option or necessary. But the resources and the tools are in the document to ensure that while the commissioner has the flexibility to repay the loan, or I shouldn't say loan, repay the advance, your finance director and your manager have the delegated authority to work with the commissioner to come up with a payment plan that works for all involved parties.
Okay.
I've looked it over and I thought it was well thought out. I've had many discussions with the town manager and our town attorney, and I'm agreeable to the terms that were set forth. So.
Okay.
And that's a good point. And again, the Commissioner Hodgkins had a hand in this document. I mean, he provided input. His comments, to the best of our legal ability, have been incorporated into the document, and we would support it from a legal and an operational perspective.
So,
Motion.
you are resigned?
Hold on, there's something I want to say.
Go ahead.
I want to formally go on the record and make a statement that, contrary to the former town manager, David Marble Lynch's statements to his staff and the public, I had no knowledge of this whatsoever until the morning I received that email from Local 10 WPLG inquiring about it. That was my first knowledge and information provided about this. I had no knowledge prior to, contrary to what has been stated internally and publicly.
No other commissioners did.
Yeah, no one knows before that.
So you want a motion for approval?
Yes, please.
I can make a motion to approve the agreement between the town and Commissioner Hodgkins.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Can he second?
Somebody else should second it, actually.
Oh,
I would actually suggest, and Commissioner Hodgkins and I didn't talk about this, I would actually suggest that you abstain from this vote.
okay.
As I think about it,
So-
presumably your colleagues will support
Well,
the
this,
item.
this has come up before when we've been voting about abstaining and things like that. And so.
Yeah, I think you
That's
should.
fine. You
But
are,
I'm agreeing to it. So
Your agreement will be acquiesced and reflected in your signature. You're signing the document. You wouldn't be voting on behalf of the commission.
Exactly.
You'd be signing as the other party to the document.
okay. Is there another second? Ashura second it. Roll call, please. Second.
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
1 second. Town attorney, Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins abstaining from this
Yeah,
vote?
Commissioner Hodgkins will not, he will sign the document as the
Okay.
recipient. He will not sign or
Thank you.
participate as part of the commission.
Mayor Jacobs?
What were you asking me?
They made a motion to
Motion
approve the agreement.
Okay, yes.
Commissioner Mohammed,
Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kashem.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And we'll work with the commissioner to have the document executed. Thank you.
Okay. So, we will go through the Jacobs, Mr. Mayor Jacobs, because he's there. Okay.
13.4.
13.4, discussion on fire fee mileage rate, sponsored by Mayor Jacobs.
Was there any progress from the town on this? Town manager?
No, I talked with the attorney, with the town attorney about this, and I think that what I envision on this item is that the town would make, that the commission would make a policy decision that the town attorney would explain the basic process. There's a lot of lead time involved in this. In other words, even if the commission decided that they wanted to go forward with directing staff to develop a fire fee and reduce and a concomitant reduction of the millage rate, which is, I believe, what the mayor's intent is, there was a process that we would have to go through, and which would include a letter of intent and some other items.
May I speak to the item?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just very briefly. And Mayor, I'm going to reference this as a fire fee, but I'm going to sort of expand broader to speak to the concept of a non-ad valorem assessment. We know that the primary revenue for the town is through our ad valorem, through our property tax. There is a separate mechanism under Florida law, under Chapter 197, that allows the town to levy what are referred to as non-ad valorem assessments. Most municipalities, certainly in Broward and elsewhere, use a non-ad valorem process to charge a fire fee. There are also non-ad valorem assessments for garbage, solid waste, stormwater. There are a number of non-ad valorem assessments that can be assessed throughout a local government and municipality. There is a process, as your manager indicates. This is not an option for the upcoming fiscal year because we've long since missed several of the statutory deadlines. If the commission wanted to consider a fire assessment, let's say, for the fiscal year 27, 28, for the subsequent fiscal year, that would be an option. The first step would be you need to adopt what's called an intent resolution. That resolution would need to be adopted, I believe, before the end of the year. It's transmitted to the property appraiser's office, and it starts the process for providing for that non-ad valorem assessment on your trim notice. It is not a tax, but it will appear on your tax bill as that type of assessment to your residents and property owners. The next part of that process would be engaging a study. We can't, it's not an arbitrary number. It needs to be based on actual numbers, fairly apportioned, and it needs to actually benefit the residents, citizens and residents who are paying the fee. If it was the commission's intent, we would need to issue an RFP or an RFQ, engage a third-party consultant to prepare a fire study analysis, as the manager indicated. They review fire data, they review all of the information related to calls, call response, and the costs associated with that process. We can then impose a fire assessment up to a certain amount. There are religious organizations that can be exempt from that process. There are charitable organizations that can be exempt from that fee under Florida law. So there's some options that the commission would consider. Commissioner Mohammed, about a week or so ago, had asked our office if we would prepare a legal memorandum outlining the non-ad valorem assessment process. That's something that we intend to work on over the course of the next several weeks during your summer recess to explain to the commission what the procedures are, what the options are. Again, I'm not going to speak so much to the financial side of the equation, but as far as the legal and process and procedure side, we will bring back a memo sometime in the summer.
Assessment and the taxes.
And there is a difference. I mean, again, they're often conflated. They do both appear on your tax bill, but legally, it is not a tax. Now, you can use your fire fee, fire assessment or stormwater assessment to bring down your ad valorem as your manager indicated. I mean, I'll tell you, as we hear a lot about homestead reform and tax reform in Tallahassee, and there's going to be an item on the ballot in November, presumably, a lot of cities are going to look to user fees and non-ad valorem assessments as a way to offset some of the revenue that's being lost as a result of the increased homestead. We intend to work on this again over the summer to be able to give you a more educated opportunity to consider the item when you come back in August. I think, and I don't want to speak for the mayor, I think his intent was to sort of, lay the framework for that issue. Commissioner Mohammed, as I said, has also raised the issue with your manager and with our office. There are some timing considerations, particularly getting an intent reso adopted by the end of the year and starting to prepare an RFP so we can get a study firm engaged and get a study completed in order that there's sufficient time to provide for an assessment, again, not in this coming fiscal year, but in the fiscal year next year. So that's my comments for the moment.
Yeah, and I'd like to add to that as I've looked at I looked at some of the case law on this, and with the fire fee, there is a lot of case law involved, and there is a limitation because of the fact that we provide both fire and EMS out of the same budget. Emergency rescue services cannot be paid for by special assessment. I think that was the North Lauderdale case.
Yeah, he's referring to a case that we litigated. Our law firm, Sam, was the city attorney in North Lauderdale for almost 47 years. What the manager is referring to is fire and EMS are obvious, usually conflated as relates to their budget. They're both out of the same pool of money. You can only assess for fire. You can't assess for rescue. So the study, the methodology that establishes your rate will need to delineate between those two services. That's what the consultant who we engage to perform that study will do. Cities will levy 70%, 75, 80%, not necessarily the full 100% of the amount collected. Because again, if you levy 100%, you leave no margin for error because there really is a very limited role or amount in which you can levy up to that maximum non-ad valorem amount. Boynton Beach had a lawsuit that related to the issue several years ago. Pembroke Pines has litigated this issue within the past 20 years. It is a matter that is ripe for challenge. Making sure we have the right procedural pieces in place if and when we move forward is a key part of that process.
And the other thing that I would add is I think that what the mayor may be looking for is kind of maybe a little bit of a cart before the horse in one sense, and that is, and I would certainly like to try to ascertain a guesstimation, a fair estimation, and I did look at some other cities, what they charge, but the problem is that Pembroke Park is so different. Our tax base is so completely different than anybody else in Broward County that you really could not compare us to anybody else and how they charge. And what I was trying to get at is like, okay, if we raise $2 million, how do we raise that $2 million in fire fee, and how would that affect our millage rate? If we knew how much a reasonable fire fee could raise, then we would know how much we could reduce our millage rate by. And I think that's one of the things that, Mayor, correct me if I'm wrong, that you would like to know, or that you would like to have at least a reasonable estimation of what that might look like. So I would take direction from the commission to look into that to that extent, and then have the attorney produce, for your consideration at the request of Commissioner Mohammed, a more fulsome explanation of what the process would be involved.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm all for get the attorney to look into it and see what he can come up with for information to make it clearer to us exactly what the outcome might be. So.
This is one of our summer assignments. We have this on our list.
Okay. Is there no discussion? So we are coming back for that.
I got some discussion on this. I just want to say we spent money. We spent $80,000 before, and Hodgkins, you sat on the dais when we did this, and we put this forward to better our community. nearly, almost 3.5 years ago. When y'all came in here, y'all put a stop to it. You ended it right from the start. I think it was April's meeting, which was your first commission meeting. Y'all put a stop to this. And we could have fixed this 3 years ago. But every project I brought forward to better this community, you guys ended. Everything to bring this town into compliance, y'all put a stop to. And, you know, this is something that needs to go forward to be looked into. You know, it's not going to happen this year, but hopefully next year we can get this to where we can fix our taxes here in Pembroke Park and get them where they're fair and equal across the board and bring our tax rate to where it needs to be for this community. Down, not up. We're so high that we turn business away. We're not the small town that means big business. We're the small town that means, hey, you can pay a lot in taxes. You know, it's something we got to fix here in town. Bring our taxes down to a reasonable rate that we are, we look for business to come in because they want to do business here. You know, our tax rate right now at 8.5 with the ad valorem is something that keeps business questioning about doing business here in Pembroke Park.
Yeah.
Seeing how we are, you know, half industrial, quarter commercial, and quarter residential, the business end is where we need to fix our taxes across the board. So that's all I have for this item.
August 29? Where is it? Okay, so we are coming back with that after the research. 13.8, consideration and approval to sponsor a package for the Broward County AFL-CIO Labor Ball, sponsored by Commissioner Mohammed.
We had a table last year. I don't know who all wants to go. I just.
Yes.
We went last year. I don't know who all wants to go this year, but I'd like a seat at the table. I don't know who all wants to go.
We sponsored
August 29th.
last year. We sponsored a silver package of 3,800. I did receive an email back from the labor union, and the silver package remains the same as of right now for $3,800. But even includes 10 seats for the table.
How much is it?
3,800. 3,800.
What are the that's the silver. Was there like a bronze?
Hold on.
I'm just asking because I mean, you know, I'm asking. I don't know who all wants to attend, but basically, I put it on the agenda for whoever wants to attend. We can let her know, and then we can decide based on however many people want to attend.
I think it would do
Yeah.
us good to be represented.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go.
Should we have a?
So
Do we need a motion for that or just directions?
Yeah, I motion
Motion.
for us.
I'll make a motion to authorize 13.8.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
What would the amount of the sponsorship? be?
3,800.
Not to exceed
800?
30, what is it, 3,800?
Not to exceed 3,800.
Mayor Jacobs,
Sorry, I was muted. Yes.
Commissioner Mohammed,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kashem,
Yes.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Morissette,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
You didn't put my other one on there. The Urban League.
Yes, I did not include it. My apologies. I was looking at that actually right now.
Yeah, I had another one I wanted to go to. I think so. I don't know. What's the city attorney
Who
question?
wants to go to the?
Conference in town. And let's see. The July 29th.
Registration is
I don't know how much it is. I don't know. How much is the registration? It's 1,000. I need a motion to approve it.
I mean,
I need a motion, a non-agenda item first.
I mean, the manager has the authority to make the expense.
But it's,
Can I
okay.
can I just do that? Yeah.
The manager
Okay.
has the authority.
Okay.
it's going in July?
It's the last week in July.
Okay.
You're gonna be back?
No.
Okay. Okay, so he'll do it. Okay, fine. Okay.
Okay. Attorney reports.
Yeah, I do have two just quick items, Madam Vice Mayor, Mayor, Commission. we mentioned earlier, and you all are very aware of the ad valorem tax referendum that's going to be on the ballot in November. We learned last week that there is a movement afoot to file a lawsuit to challenge the ballot language as being misleading, inaccurate, and vague to the voters. In other words, it's been alleged to read more like a campaign flyer than, it's been said that the ballot language reads more like a campaign political piece than it does a ballot question. There's a nonprofit organization that either has been or is in the process of being formed. We have some indication that a statewide lawsuit is going to be filed challenging the referendum in November. It remains to be seen whether it is successful. Obviously, a lot of cities, including our own, is concerned about the implications and impacts of that tax reform, the homestead exemptions. So we'll monitor that and continue to keep the commission involved. The only other item I wanted to mention is I know a week or so, 10 days ago, was the Broward League of Cities annual dinner. To the extent that any disclosures need to be filed, your Form 9, so I'm certainly happy to help with that. That's all I have, Madam Vice Mayor. Thank you.
Okay.
In our ethics class.
I haven't been asked.
When? We did, no?
If you need ethics hours, we'll get you ethics hours.
I need ethics hours.
All right.
Why? We don't have it? I already,
We did it? No, we didn't do it.
we did this year.
We did one.
Yeah, remember? 4 hours, like I sent you the link.
All right, we gotta
January,
check.
I did that.
Okay, never
I'm
mind.
going to
We'll see.
file your forms.
Submitted, right? The ethics hour? I sent it to you.
The ethics disclosure from the Form 1?
No,
that-
not,
that-
she's not talking
Not
about the
that
Form
one.
1, the county ethics form she's talking about. We'll confirm it if you need hours. We got half a year. We'll make it
Okay.
happen.
Okay, thank you.
Town manager report?
Thank you.
Yeah, we, the staff, we continue to work on the AC rehab program schedule. We're going to start with the third floor, then we're going to move to the second floor, then we'll finally do the first floor. To the extent that commission members may want to come in during the summer to their offices or for whatever reason, you should probably call ahead of time. If you want to, visit with a department head, you might want to call ahead of time. You might find that they have been relocated to the third floor, just as a precaution. The company that is doing the work is doing it floor by floor. The plan also calls for this chamber to be done first. As they're doing the third floor, they're also going to do the commission chambers, because we have things going on here that that we need to continue and may have to reschedule, and it might interrupt the schedule or have to reschedule it. I'm not, maybe somewhere else in the building, but if we can't, then we'll have to because there'll be no air conditioning and it'll be very uncomfortable. So yeah, I just wanted to make you aware of that. Also, I wanted to ask for a little bit of a direction on the book giveaway, which is kind of our first big event coming up. We had some discussion about it at the staff meeting, where it was suggested that maybe we could do the haircutting under the canopy in the preserve and put chairs out there and whatnot, and it would be
Every year.
Here.
or well, I mean, what I was told is that the haircutting is done in the second floor conference room. No,
It was in the last year, it was in the first floor, in the
in the lobby.
the lobby.
In the lobby.
How did
on the
that
nice
work
floor
out?
That they can just vacuum it right up as they're going.
Okay, all right. I don't care. I mean, it's whatever works. It's fine with me. But
It was crowded. We could use the second floor room.
But here's the thing, is that the first floor is being done last, so we may run into an issue. We may have to work with the building people to delay the start of the first floor
When are they looking to do the first floor?
last.
But how, I thought this was gonna be like done within 2 months.
No.
No?
The third floor is going to take a couple of weeks, maybe 3. The second floor, maybe 4.
Okay, wait, you said 3 weeks for the third floor?
Yeah, 3 weeks for the third floor. 4 and 4 for the first floor, for the second floor and the first floor. So we're going to be into August. We're hoping that they get started before the end of June. And Mark is shaking his head warily, like maybe. Okay. So we're going to need to coordinate on that with the book giveaway. That's why I brought up the building air conditioning thing.
Okay.
One of the reasons. So we may have to have a plan B is what I'm trying to get at. And the other thing that we discussed was that we provide like hot dogs, sodas, and chips, something like that for the people that show up. Did we want to like hire a hot dog vendor, somebody that does it professionally?
No, it's hot dogs. Adrian does a great job.
That's what
Adrian makes the best hot dogs.
That's what I was told you'd say.
Hot dogs.
All right.
We've alternated between hot dogs and pizza. We used to actually buy the Domino's pizza because you get like 20 pizzas
All
and
right.
cut them in little half slices, and that would be like $200.
Would you like to be the commissioner that advises me on what to do?
I'm always the commissioner that advises on this project.
Okay, good. Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay.
Vice Mayor, just to confirm, yes, you did turn in your ethics form.
Thank you.
Did I do that?
And Clerk, Commissioner Morris said.
Okay. Because January we did that.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to do that.
Did I turn in my form too? Yeah, I have done. She said no, I didn't turn it in.
You don't have one for me?
We did together. You did your, remember we do it in the phone. I did in January. Yes, okay. I did in January too.
Okay.
You did too, I believe it.
Uh-oh, Manny's coming up. Uh-oh.
Manny.
So, Manny, where's my suppression system for the kitchen in the second floor?
All that's going to be
Why
worked
you
out
can't
with the
Manny right
fire
now?
depression. But either way, I just wanted to make a comment for
Yes.
the book bag giveaway. I know a lot of times we use the back parking lot
Yes.
for things.
Mm-hmm.
With the AC project, the current AC is going to be displaced to a different area, and there may be supplies out there in the back. So we may have to alternate where we have those extracurricular events during
It's
that.
going to be in the park.
So that's something to think about.
Okay, you guys, manager will be
Figure it out.
like if you have the equipment outside that time. So
And
then,
in August, we'll be right smack in the middle of it.
yeah.
for the
So if
most
it's
part.
not, then they're going to have it in park.
We'll figure it
I
out
would
somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
think of
We'll figure out some. No, we might have to use the school. It's too
Yeah.
hot to be outside trying
Okay.
to do all of that. Yeah.
Is that manager direction?
I mean, they'll charge us, but
Okay, commission reports.
yay.
Go ahead.
Start with them first.
Eric Merced? No. Bill?
I'm good.
Chicken? Mama Tashira?
Okay. So, just wanted to give you guys an update that we have partnered with We Are Linked Coalition to provide domestic violence program here. It's an 8-week program. We just had our first class last week. We had a good turnout of local residents who attended the class who are the victims of domestic violence. Domestic violence is a very, very important issue, especially here in Pembroke Park, where if you look at the statistics, a lot of our statistics are showing that we do receive a lot of calls for domestic violence. I would encourage, if anybody knows anyone, to invite them to come out to the program, because it is providing a lot of information, it's providing a lot of help. And we do need to get a handle on this. We need to get a handle on it, is basically what it is. We got to get these numbers down. So we got to get people professional help, and we got to provide help to get people out of these situations. So just wanted to let everybody know, that the program is going on here. It's an 8-week program that we're utilizing different therapists, different services that they can come to get the help that they need. So just wanted to just put that on the record. That's what the proclamation was for, that instead of presenting it today, I'll present it tomorrow to them for doing the program in our city. And you guys are welcome to come out.
Thank you. What time?
7 to 9. 7 to 9.
In the morning?
Night.
Or 9? Okay. Tomorrow? Here.
Yes.
Okay.
I've been to them before. It's an excellent program, and the people really do benefit by it. They really get the help they need, and I thought it was really nice,
Helpful.
great program. Yeah.
Thank you. So, so just wanted to put that on the record. And that was all I had for us, other than enjoy your summers.
Thank you. Mayor Jacobs?
Nothing.
I have something. The UMC clinic, they only started September 12th, but I requested them our bag giveaway if they come over and then give some services if the parents or the kids need it. So they are agreed to come. So just letting you know for the record, and people also be invited free service for that day. And they will using Ashira office. You allowing, please?
Yes.
So they are not bringing the mobile clinic there that day because every time they're gonna bring, they has the cost the money like $500 to $600. So I said no, they can use for that day only. Then next schedule will be they will bringing that mobile home clinic. And I also have a conversation with our interim city manager. We talk about it. Our assistant city managers. I understand like the few people you guys had interviewed and don't feel like they're perfect for the assistant city manager, but well, in the summer, please follow up with the HR directors to resubmit again for the map post because we need a backup. We never know what's gonna happen, and we had our past, so we should have our backup. So I believe you're gonna follow up with him and give us the update, please. Thank you.
Yeah, we can just advertise it as.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, we did. No, we did, and
No,
we received 70 resume, and but some reason, no one feel like they are qualified. So okay, fine. They are not. They have to do it again. So that's fine.
Yeah, that, and I think we need to take a hard look at the budget and
Yeah. But we need our
build it
back.
into the coming budget. Yes, but yeah, what the vice mayor is saying is correct.
Okay. Announcements. 17.1 Special Magistrate Hearing, Wednesday, June 17, 2026 at 9 a.m. Budget Workshop Meeting, Wednesday, August 26, 2026 at 5 p.m. Workshop Commission Meeting, Wednesday, August 26, 2026 at 6 p.m. Special Events, Food Giveaways, Saturday, June 27, 2026 at 9 a.m. Saturday, July 25th, 2026 at 9 a.m. Saturday, August 29, 2026 at 9 a.m. Book bag giveaway, Saturday, August 8, 2026, 10 a.m. Broward County Property Appraiser Homestead Mobile Exemption Education Team, Tuesday, June 16, 2026 at 11:30 a.m. through 1 p.m. Tuesday, August 18, 2026 at 11:30 a.m. through 1 p.m. 18, adjournment, if there is a motion for adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. I'll second.
Aye. All in favor? Aye. Okay. What happened?